Welcome to the Speaking Podcast. You can find all our episodes on speakingpodcast.com or also on BitChute and YouTube at Speaking Podcast. I also have the Awakening Podcast, the Meditation Podcast, Learn Polish Podcast, and the Crypto Podcast, and all can be found on roycon.com. Today, my guest, please welcome Nancy Badillo, but I know in Puerto Rico you pronounce it differently.
Yes, in Puerto Rico will be Nancy Badillo.
Oh, very
But you
nice.
said it right though as well.
So I know you're a social media expert, but you might introduce yourself to the listeners.
Of course. Thank you again for having me, Roy. I am a digital marketing specialist. I'm also an Exi coach and I'm also a creator online. So I dabble a lot in the digital space. So I'm a little bit of everything. It's hard to kind of like pinpoint, but if I had to say the one thing, I think it would be an Exi coach. But I also have like I'm a YouTuber because I have a YouTube channel, and then I've been in the digital space for 13 years. So that's where my experience comes from, digital marketing.
Well, you kind of just brush that aside as YouTube. I mean, I have the list of the different things with the numbers that you've got, but I suppose let's go into YouTube. You've 6.5 million views. You've something like 93,000 subs. That's very impressive. When did the YouTube, was that one of the first things that you got started on?
No, actually, that was one of the last things I got started with. I started YouTube about 4 years ago. I was pregnant. I was like, okay, I'm going to start YouTube because I understood video is like what video is the future, basically. Everything is video. I understood that, but what kept holding me back is that one, I'm an introvert, so I don't like being in camera. And two, it would just take so much out of me to be in camera or even like do podcasts and stuff like that. It would be something that was like nerve wracking, but I knew I had to do it. So originally when I started, if you go back to my videos, they were all screen shares. I barely showed my face. There was a couple times that I did show my face, maybe 4 out of like 100 videos, put it that way. But what I started doing was baby step, providing a lot of value, giving back to my community, doing Etsy critiques for my target audience, like critiquing their store to help them grow. And eventually over time, I was like, oh, I got to put my face out there. I got to talk in video. I have to show more. The minute that I did that, that's when my channel started growing faster. I went from like 9,000 one year to the second year to like 20,000 subscribers. But it was because of the fact that I was showing up. When I was showing my face, even my audience was telling me, oh my God, I'm so excited to finally see the face behind the voice. So it started with fear of being in camera, introverted. I'm still introverted, etc. And then obviously the more you do it, the more confidence you get. But definitely if I had to go back, I would have done the video first with my face, and not being so scared. But it's a learning process, but it's been about 4 years now.
Excellent. And are you, with the videos that you're putting up then, is this something that you do consistent, like that you put them out every certain amount a week or what? Or is it just haphazard like me?
Oh, no, I'm very consistent. I mean, I have new videos every single week. Even when I was pregnant, even after I gave birth, I had bash out videos. In the beginning, it was a lot more videos. I was doing about 5 to 20 videos a month to kind of like grow faster. Now it has slowed down, but now it's about, I would say like 8 videos a month on a good month. In September of last year, I did like 30 in 1 month because I was doing like a challenge, teaching people about Etsy. But normally it's about 8 videos a month, and I'm very consistent with it because it grows my business, it grows my brand awareness. So for me, it's something that I have to do if I want to continue to grow.
And I've actually looked at your videos, and you do it very well because, like, I'm not familiar with Etsy. I've heard of it, but the way that you've done it, you have a little box, and you were creating on Canva how to actually create the ad, and you nailed it, because it was like I look at this and I go, wow, and you simplify it, which I think is actually credit to you, which means you really know how to teach it because not everybody can do that.
Oh, well, thank you. And I think it took some time for me as well to kind of develop. I think I always tell people when you first start, your first video is going to suck. Your first blog post is going to suck. Your first podcast is going to suck. But over time, as you start doing it more and more and more, you learn from yourself, you learn from what your audience tells you, you learn how to become better. I'm sure next year I will look at today's videos and be like, oh my God, I improved so much. Every year is an improvement. If you look, even if you look at my videos from like 2 years ago and you compare the lighting and the background and everything else, you be like, oh, what a huge difference. So you continue to grow and evolve, and that's the point of it. It's not to beat yourself down, to be like, okay, I'm not that great. Well, you'll get great, you know, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start in order to be great.
No,
So
totally agree with you. And I know that with my podcast, when I listen back to I think it was 2018 November, and when I listen back to the first few, I cringe. I go, oh my God, how did people listen
I
to that?
know I can't even watch my old videos. They're not properly sized. So there's like two black lines on the side and the screen is this little. I'm like, what was I thinking? Did I really upload that? But I did. It's there. I leave it because I feel like instead of going back and deleting that, that's my journey. I could share that with people. I could be transparent with people and be like, hey, yeah, you look at my numbers now and I'm almost at 100,000, and my Instagram this and that, you see that, but did you see when I started? Like, I struggle a lot. It wasn't that simple for me, like everybody automatically thinks, right, when they look at your numbers at the present moment. So for me, I think it's good to have those moments, because then you can look back and see how you have grown as well.
Oh, absolutely. And you're after mentioning something now, which I know happens me. You said the black at the side. So with the different videos, I know that some are for the phone and you're supposed to have it upright and then kind of, horizontal for video. Like, must you actually do two recordings, or is there a way that you don't have these black spots,
No, I
strips down
think
the side?
the black spots came out because I guess I didn't size it the right size. So for YouTube, it's 1280 by 720 pixels. And when you record a video on YouTube, you want to record it this way. And that way you record it that size. And then when you upload it to your software editing, you want to make sure that the size that you pick for your Canva before you upload the video is 1280 by 720. If you do that and you record your video this way, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about getting the black lines. It's just the size and making sure you record it this way. If you record it this way, you'll have black lines on the side as well.
And
Even
when you record it, like, let's call it horizontal,
horizontal, excuse me. Yes.
if you put that on, say, for a Facebook or a Snapchat or any of these ones where, say, Snapchat, where people are actually looking in the vertical position, does it automatically adjust it, or are you better off actually recording it twice?
There's several things you could do. To save time, you don't necessarily have to record it again. So what you could do is just record one video horizontal. And when you're ready to share that video on Facebook, you can actually share on Facebook and it won't get cut off. However, if you share it, let's say on Instagram, because it's a 1080 by 1080 pixels, like 1:1 ratio, it will get cut off. So one easy solution is if you use like a software like Canva, they have little mock-ups, like they have like a phone mock-up, or they have like a computer mock-up. You could upload the video there, create like let's say like a social media post with your video, download it as a video. Obviously you want to optimize it 1080 by 1080, the size, and then upload it to Instagram. I think that would be the easiest way for a lot of people having to re-record again, especially if you're like me, like you keep stumbling over your words and you keep recording, it might be a little frustrating. So just recording it once. I think that we overcomplicate things, but the more you use these platforms, like Canva is a great platform to resize your videos. That will help you to be able to optimize the size for any platform, not just Instagram, Facebook, for Pinterest, anywhere else that you want to promote your video or whatever your podcast at that moment.
Excellent. And like, just sticking, because I want to go through a lot of them, like sticking with, say, the YouTube, because I've done well with one of them, but others not really. I mean, I've hit the million on the Polish one, but the other one's not. Like, is it down to like the hashtag or the picture that you use for the friend? Like, in your experience, what do you think is the secret sauce with actually growing it with the YouTube?
I think with YouTube, the secret sauce is consistency, because my thumbnails before were hideous and I'm still working on them. If you go through my videos, you'll see that I'm
Oh, they look good.
constantly.
But I looked at
Oh,
them
you
and you've
think they
got
look good?
numbers and they look good. They grab your attention. They grab your attention.
They're constantly changing because I'm constantly thinking of how can I make it better? How can I make it better? So I think for me, it's a combination of one, consistency. You have to have consistency. You have to continue posting if you want to grow on any platform. The second thing is looking at your analytics and seeing what's working and what's not working. What are people clicking on? What are your best videos? What are the videos that get you the most clicks and views? And then recreating more of those videos. That's kind of like the strategy that many people use, and they grow a lot quicker than I have. For me, originally, when I started my YouTube channel, I always wanted to make it a one-stop like channel for all Etsy stuff. So if you want to learn all about Etsy, you go to my channel. I have over 700 videos. So from how to change your Etsy store name to how to cancel an order on Etsy, on how to grow on Etsy, how to make money on Etsy, everything about Etsy. That's what I originally wanted. Almost like a blog, when you create a blog, all about whatever. But when you do it that way, the growth does become stagnant, because when you create a video that you say how to make $100,000 on Etsy, that gets a lot of clicks. But when you create a video that talks about how to change your Etsy store name, that don't get that many clicks, because people are more interested in the money and not so much on a video on, some people might watch it, the people are searching for that, but these get you more views. So these type of videos on, not clickbait, because if you're talking about that and you're showing that, it's not really clickbait, but those type of videos, if you keep stacking them up, and up, eventually you'll grow a lot quicker than I did. See, it took me a little bit longer, because even though I understand the concept, I get bored with just like how to make 100,000 a year, how I made 400, I still create them, but I want to create more than that. I want to show you how to create a video product, a video for your products. I want to show you how to be creative. I want to show you how to use Canva. I want to show you how to use email marketing. I want to be more than just a clickbait video. So it just depends on the method that you take. A lot of people do this method of how to make money, and every video is like that, and they actually do grow a little quicker than when you make all these in-between videos that don't get that many views. But to me, I think the consistency and creating videos that are catered to your target audience, and not one day I'm talking about Etsy and the next day I'm talking about Amazon. Even when I create a video on Canva or a different platform, I still wrap it out around Etsy. So when I create a video on Canva, like how to create the video that you watch on how to create a video for your products, that's for Etsy sellers or small business owners. I still relate it back to my target audience. I think that's another important one, because a lot of people want to talk about their daily life or their blog or their dog or something different, and that throws people off, and people actually unsubscribe from your channel because of that as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I think even though sometimes we kind of look at the numbers, so like, let's call it the clickbait or just the ad time, but the people, when you're saying how to change the name, because people have that problem, they want to change the name, they'll become kind of loyal followers, as opposed to the people just coming, they won't even subscribe, probably just come in, listen, and they're gone. So
exactly.
It has an advantage of actually, just sticking to the, making sure you give plenty of content.
Exactly, because I don't want to be known just for that. And I understand the concept of those videos, because if you look at my competitors, they have less videos than me, and some of them are at 50,000 or almost catching up to me, or even already past me. But every single video they had was that. It wasn't a mixture like I have, which is I'm trying to educate people. I still share my finances. I'm open about it, but I don't want it to be all about that. I want to just teach you and be humble and educate people. So I think that's one way to look at it, but it's really up to the person. But consistency for sure, and like you said, having great thumbnails really help as well.
And I came across something I don't know, was it 6 months ago or 5 months ago? I subscribed and I haven't got around. TubeBuddy, do you use that at all for kind of getting analytics and do split testing and stuff?
I do like you. I like YouTube Buddy. There's nothing against them. I actually use Video IQ. The only reason I use them is because the owner, Rob, I'm very interactive with him on Instagram. And that's the only thing I kind of I gravitated. But I definitely recommend when you are starting out to invest in either YouTube Buddy or Video IQ. They're competitors to each other. They're both amazing platforms. I have tried both of them actually. And it is really, really important to do that because a lot of times people are copying other people tags, other videos tags, and you need to really understand the metrics and you need to really understand SEO. If you are starting out, you can't copy the tags of a channel that has 100,000 followers because you're not going to get the same views in the beginning. You have to go after keywords that are more suitable for your channel. So Video IQ, what I like about them is that their dashboard is really easy to use. They actually give you suggested tags for your videos based on your engagement, based on your followers, based on your views. They do analytics. They do like your channel analytics. So they tell you the top views for the week, the video that got the most comments. This is all data that you could collect and really look into and see, okay, what is going to be my next video and what are people resonating with? But investing in tools like that would definitely help you grow faster than trying to figure out on your own or just copying other people's tags, but you don't really know if they're working for you or not.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I've started using another thing, hashtag or something like that, some app that basically you put in the keyword and whatever word you're going to use, and then it gives you all the different hashtags. Do you use something like that, or does it make such a difference? Because I know some people haven't a clue about hashtags, they don't use hashtags, but I mean, my experience is I believe they do work, but I'm not sure, do they work on all social media platforms?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. So on YouTube, hashtags don't work, is more tags. However, you could put hashtags on your channel. So I use hashtag Nancy Badillo, hashtag, I want to say affiliate marketing, and hashtag digital marketing. I have like a couple of them, very direct to what I do. Because when you use that one hashtag, if somebody goes to YouTube and they put hashtag Nancy Badillo, all of my videos come up. Do people know that? Some people, right? Very little, but not that much. But that's the reason why it pulls all of my videos together. So that's the reason why I use it for people that actually do search like that. But you don't want to use it for keyword strategy because it doesn't work. YouTube is a search engine, so you need keywords. Pinterest is a search engine, you need keywords. Instagram is not a search engine, it's a social media platform. And the way that you find how your target audience finds you is through hashtags. So on Instagram, you definitely want to use, I use all 30. Some people say don't use all 30, use 13, use 11. People feel like there's a magic number. This is what I tell people. Use as many relevant hashtags as possible. Now, don't start just using hashtags just to put one. Don't put hashtag Puerto Rico or hashtag Poland if it has nothing to do with your post, because you're attracting the wrong audience. Like people that are using the hashtag might come across your post. They're not going to engage. They're not going to click. And that actually reduces the possibility of you landing in an Explorer page or getting pushed more to your followers. So just use as many relevant hashtags of your whatever you're promoting. That's what I tell people. I try to use all 30 that are relevant to whatever I'm promoting. So depending when you're at, like Facebook, if you do use a hashtag, I recommend using maybe one or two. It's not really a hashtag platform. However, you can search for hashtag. If I go to the search bar and I type in hashtag Etsy tips, you see all these people talking about Etsy tips. So I do use it occasionally, but I don't put 30 hashtags on Facebook like other people do. So, one or two, maybe on YouTube, just to pull your videos together in categories. On Pinterest, strictly keywords. You used to work with hashtags, but no longer. Instagram hashtags, even LinkedIn, you could do one or two.
And with the Pinterest, that's something I haven't got my head around, even though I think I've got something like 3 followers. I think you've about, I don't know, 30,000 or something. I know you've a lot.
Around 27, yeah.
So you actually find benefit to the Pinterest, yeah? You're actually getting clients from it?
Yeah, to be quite honest, Pinterest is the platform that I have the least followers. Is the platform that I least let's participate in the meaning in like commenting every day or talking to people. Is the least one, but it's the one that drives me the most traffic. Pinterest drives me more traffic than my YouTube with 93,000, than my Instagram with 86,000, than my Twitter with 100,000. It drives me the most traffic. So I absolutely recommend Pinterest for all business, your business, doesn't matter what you sell. Pinterest is amazing. Pinterest is a search engine, and that's the reason why it works that way.
I just get my head around it because I know it's all about pictures. So you put up a picture with a keyword, is it, or how does how would you describe what you put up?
So let's say you do a podcast with me, like, right? You want to promote this podcast, so you will create a pin. You could create it. The standard size is 1,000 by 1,500. You want to make sure you optimize the picture the right size for Pinterest. So you create the pin, that's what it's called, a pin. And then you will put, let's say, your logo, make sure you put your logo, your branding colors. Let's say you have a picture of yourself, and then you have a picture of me as your guest in your podcast. And then you will use keywords. We were talking about hashtags. We will use keywords to rank. So you would do keyword research. So you could use keywords everywhere. You could use the Pinterest search bar to do keyword research. You could use any tools like Google AdWords to do research. So for instance, my name, and I'm small, I'm nobody. My name gets about 30,000 monthly searches, 29,000, I think right now. So it will be wise if you put my name in your pin because I get a lot of searches and I'm your guest. So you will probably put interview with Nancy Badillo. That will be your focus tag. And then you will put your pin, you will name it as a file, interview with Nancy Badillo.jpg, because your images also show up on Google. So you want to make sure that the file name has the keyword that you're trying to rank for. So you put the image name, you put the main keyword, and when you upload to Pinterest, it's going to ask you for the title. You put the same keyword again, and it's going to have a description, almost like how you do the podcast, how I do YouTube. It has a description. In there, you will say, in today's interview, I'm interviewing Nancy Badillo. That's your keyword. She talks about Etsy tips. That's another keyword that maybe you search, that people are searching for. She talks about, she teaches people about Etsy tips, digital marketing, and how to make money on Etsy. Maybe that's another keyword, how to make money on Etsy. You kind of put it in there organically, right? You don't want to do a string of keywords because it's keyword stuffing, doesn't read very well. Basically, you optimize it for SEO, the description, you optimize the title for SEO, you optimize the image for SEO, you publish, and that's it. You publish it and that's it. And now when people are searching for how to make money on Etsy, your pin might show up, or your pin might show up on Google, because whenever you use Pinterest, your pins not only show up on Pinterest, but they also show up on Google. So that's how you do it. And then if you sell,
now I know why I've got 3 followers. I've been doing it totally wrong. Brilliant, excellent. I love that. Yeah.
No, but Pinterest honestly is one of the fastest way to grow. I always tell people, when you start a business, no matter what you do, podcast, blogging, YouTube, e-commerce, you sell, I don't know, plumbing services, doesn't matter. You need some type of search engine. Podcast is a search engine. YouTube is a search engine. Pinterest is a search engine. Blogging is a search engine. Pick one if you can't have all of them, because I know that it could be a bit overwhelming to have so many things. I have a lot and I understand that. So pick one. You need email marketing. That would be your second. And then you need a social media platform. Those 3 things. So let's say Instagram is one, or maybe you have a Facebook group is one. So Facebook, email marketing blog, or Facebook, email marketing, Pinterest, Facebook, email marketing podcast. Pick one. As you start as you become an expert in that particular field, as you become an expert in podcasts and you got the hang of it, now it's time to add a blog. These channels like blogging, podcasts, YouTube, they're evergreen. People are always going to be finding your stuff. That's what's great about it. On Pinterest, on Instagram, once you post, unless you become viral, you grow really fast. Once you post, over time, your post gets pushed to the bottom. But your content on Pinterest lasts longer, lasts years. Your content on YouTube lasts years. I mean, I still make money from videos 4 years ago. You know, your content on your blog lasts for years. I have a blog that is all about health, and I do affiliate marketing, and I have grown in the last 4 years. And in that blog, I make like 20 to 30,000 just from Pinterest and blogging. That's all I do on that blog. It's anonymous. I don't put my face on it, just from blog, because blogging is that powerful. Pinterest is that powerful. YouTube is that powerful.
Excellent. And for kind of getting your followers list in on an email system, do you have, because I've tried MailChimp and I started pulling my hair out. I just couldn't. It was wrecking my head. And I've tried Weber and a few others. Which one do you recommend? That's,
you know what? All of them, you're going to want to pull your hair out, to be quite honest. I'm not going to say one is easier. I use ConvertKit. I promote ConvertKit and ActiveCampaign. They're a little bit more on the expensive side, but they have so many more features, and that's the reason why I say that. However, what a lot of people don't know is that no matter what platform you use, they all have like a hub center where you could go. And like MailChimp has that. They have a hub center where you go and you could get step-by-step on how to create a landing page, step-by-step on how to add an email list to your newsletter. I mean, they have everything in there. It just, like anything, when you first start, it's a headache, right? Like when you started a podcast, I'm sure, I don't know anything about podcasts, so I know it will be a headache for me. I got to learn, where do I publish my podcast? Like, what microphone do I need? Like, how do I even get started? It's just so many things. But it's one of those things that you need as a business owner to build sustainable business where you have, it belongs to you. Because a lot of people make the mistake of, I'm going to sell on Etsy or I'm going to sell on Facebook Marketplace. You're renting a space on Etsy. You're renting a space on Facebook Marketplace. I'm renting a space on Instagram. The only thing that's really, really mine right now is my blog and my email list. Anything else could get suspended at any given moment for whatever reason. So it's really crucial to have email marketing. I think it's just taking it one step at a time. The one that I highly recommend, if I had to say, because of what you just mentioned, ActiveCampaign, because they actually do a meeting with you. So when you sign up with them, no matter what plan you pick, it could be the lowest one, they do a Zoom call with you and they show you how to use the platform. And I think that's really special about them, because many platforms, you can't even talk to someone nowadays. Everything is chatting. And a lot of times, if you don't know the lingo, you don't know how to explain it so they could understand you. So it's a lot of back and forth. So it's nice that they have that. And you could actually reach out to them anytime and set up a meeting if you need additional help. And that's why I recommend them, especially for beginners. Mm-hmm.
And like, I know you've got a load of different ones, like the Twitter. I mean, I wouldn't have been, I don't know what you've 112,000 on Twitter. I had at one stage something like 7,500, but I think it was more a follow for a follow. Then I just unfollowed everybody, and now I've got about 4.5. But I just see the interaction is so low. Yet it's very easy to post it, because if I'm doing something on BitChute or even on YouTube, it's just a button. It's just click, share there. So that's what I do. But I don't see it's got the same kind of interaction, even though the odd time somebody comes from there. So that's why I know it's worth continuing. What's your experience with Twitter?
I feel the same way. When I started my Twitter account was ages ago. It was when it was really, I feel like, very trending. Like, it was when everybody was using it more. And when I actually started it, I was all over the place. I was like digital marketing specialist. I was helping people with blogs. I was a freelancer, social media. One minute I was talking about this, the next minute I was talking about that. I didn't have a niche. I was like all over the place. So I did build up a lot of following back then because I used to use Twitter like consistent. I had a program called Social Oomph where I would publish like 5, 6, 7 times a day. I was doing that back in the day. Now I can't even keep up with people that do that. Like I do like 1 or 2 posts a day and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how people do 5 per day. I used to in Twitter, but that's when Twitter was the only platform I put all my energy on. Now I have too many platforms. So I don't, maybe in the future I'll bump it up more. But back then it was a lot easier to grow. And that's how I got it to grow. And to be honest, I had even more followers. They're actually decreasing because now I'm very niche. And now I'm Etsy tips and small business tips. So a lot of the people that follow me on Twitter don't really engage with my content because they follow me back in the day when I was talking about other stuff. So for me, I still post on Twitter on a consistent basis because I still use hashtag. I still get traffic from Twitter. I see it in my analytics. And I understand that to grow my brand, I have to be in these different platforms. I use Reddit as well. I use LinkedIn. I have a LinkedIn group. I mean, I'm everywhere. So I post everywhere just to cover my base. But with Twitter, I feel like it's easier for me to engage on Instagram with people. It's easy for me to create content on YouTube and on my blog. But Twitter is the one that it is a lot harder. I think I don't know if it's just my niche and maybe for other people's niches it's easier, but I do tend to have the least traffic there, even though I have a big following. Yeah.
And with things like, I think Hootsuite I tried years ago, and there's all other ones. Do you use any? Because I mean, it's a minefield out there. Like as you say, we've discussed a few different ones. Do you use something like that to make your life easier?
Yeah, I actually started using one about 2 months now. So one of the business expenses is that you start having all these, you got YouTube Buddy, you pay $50 there. Now you got this other subscription, you pay $30 there. Now you got this other subscription. So I essentially had, because I'm very frugal, I'm debt free last year. I saved a lot of money for our new home that we're getting. So I was trying to like just cut down on everything. So I was doing it all manually. And I came up with this. Well, I didn't come up with this. I saw this website. It's called AppSumo. I highly recommend it for you as well, to look at them. They actually have different types of programs for your business that you pay a one-time fee for lifetime access. That's the key. So I downloaded one, I think it's called Social Suite, if I'm not mistaken. But if you go in there and you type in social media, you'll see it. It'll start with social, but I want to say it's called Social Suite. I believe it was $59. I downloaded it. I don't have to pay anything ever again. It's a one-time fee. And it it's the same thing like Hootsuite, but instead of me paying Hootsuite, let's say they charge $50, instead of me paying them $50 every single month, I have this one software that does it for me. I've used it for the last month and it works perfectly. So I don't have no complaints. And you could post on Instagram, on Twitter, on your Facebook groups, Facebook profile. So it really does like 80%. And then I do the rest manually. Like it doesn't do Pinterest, it doesn't do Reddit, but it really does a lot. So it does enough for me to
especially
help
that
it.
it's a once-off, because I'm the same. I mean, as I mentioned, the TubeBuddy thing, and like I done the first, because a guy had told me about it who's doing very well on YouTube, and I think he said, "I'll get the $7 or something like that." Went in and done it, and then it was like you get about 3 features out of 20, and I was like, then I
Yeah.
upgraded, and it's like, and I haven't even got around to studying it to do it. And then I've got the Zoom cost, and then you've got, the
It adds up.
StreamYard, and the whole lot of them add up. So I've done a few things now. I've got a few things as well that you pay it, but it's a once off. And I totally prefer that. Like, I don't like the monthly thing because, before you know it, there's a lot going out each month.
Yeah, I pay a lot monthly, especially with my email marketing. It's the most expensive one. However, there are programs out there. AppSumo is amazing. Every time I go in there, I see something new that I'm like, I could get that and reduce the cost. I could get that and save $400 for the next year. So I've been trying to do that a little bit more. Obviously, you're not going to be able to do that on every single thing, but most of the things you actually can. You'd be surprised on how many things AppSumo has that you didn't know that you could supplement and pay a one-time fee and call it a day. So definitely check it out.
And you mentioned like search engine optimization and Google Analytics. Do you pay for any of these, or do you try to do everything organically? Because I've tried with different businesses with the Google and the Facebook, and I know, unfortunately, they're both corrupt. And my experience is that once you start doing it, then your organic goes way down because they just want you to keep paying. So you kind of end up hurting yourself. I don't know if you experienced something like that.
It is. It's like a double sword. I tell people to grow organically, you need a lot of patience. See, I have grown organically. So a lot of my traffic, I would say a lot of the revenue that I make every month, I would say at least 70% is because of my organic. But that comes with a lot of sacrifice. That comes with consistent videos. That comes with showing up on my Instagram, whether I'm sick, whether my son is with me, whether I'm tired, I had a bad day, doesn't matter. I have to work because that's how I'm driving traffic all the time. I have to create blog articles all the time. That's the organic. That's why you'll see ads like, you don't need to be on social media. You don't need to blog. You don't need to do YouTube. You don't need to do podcasts to grow. All you need is fake. That's why you see those people advertise that and they make money, because there are a lot of people out there that blog, that post every day, and they're not getting, I guess they're not making money. They're struggling, but they're doing all of these things and they're tired of it. But what I tell people is that it takes time. It's not, my first year on YouTube, I would post a video. If I got 4 views, that was a lot. Like I had to keep posting videos. I had to keep growing my audience. I had to go from the girl that was everything to the girl that's just Etsy now, Etsy tips, like niche down. And when I niche down, that helped me grow. When I was all over the place, it really didn't. A lot of people are all over the place. They don't have a niche. They don't have an authority. They're not an expert in a specific thing, and that's why they can't grow. They're doing all the things that I'm saying, YouTube and blog and post on Instagram 2 times a day or 5 times a day, depending on what you want, right? But they don't see the growth, so they rely on, well, maybe I should do Facebook ads. And yes, when you do Facebook ads or you do any form of advertising, you do get more eyeballs to your products, right? If I run an ad to my webinar, I could spend $100 today and get like 1,000 impressions, versus if I'm doing it organically, I might get 5 impressions if I'm lucky, right? But it's more than that. It's not just running an ad. Do you have a niche market? Do you know the pain points of your target audience? Are you creating an effective ad campaign? Are you testing different ad campaigns? Because I suck at ads. I'm not going to lie. And what I had to learn the hard way is that I got to look at my numbers. I got to look at what's converting, what's not converting, how many people show up. I have to do the calculations. I have to test out 6 different ads, the beginning of it, to see which one people clicked on more, which one engaged people more. It's a lot of work, and a lot of people are not willing to do all of that. So to them, it's like, oh, this doesn't work. Another thing is, I do agree with what you're saying. That's why I love Pinterest. Facebook only shows your content to like 10%. Like when you post, like I have a group of 86,000 members. When I post something there, Facebook only shows it to 10% of your audience. Why? If I have 86,000, that doesn't make sense, because it's a platform that you have to pay to play, basically. Instagram is the same way. They show your post to 10% of people. Based on those 10%, and you don't know who 10%, they pick the 10% of your followers. Based on those 10%, if they engage with your post, they like, they comment, they share, then they show it to the next hierarchy, which is your hashtags. Based on that, then they decide whether you go on Explorer page. That's how they decide. So if you have fake followers, guess what? That's why fake followers don't work, because they're not going to give you the engagement that you need to kind of proceed to the next level. So this is the main reason why I always tell people, YouTube, you don't have money, you don't have the funds, it's okay. It's going to take a little bit of more work, but YouTube, podcasting, blogging, Pinterest will get you that traffic if you're consistent enough, that will get you traffic all the time to your products and services. I don't run that much ads. I mean, compared to my competitors that, or people that are bigger than me that spend like 30,000 a month. I don't spend 30,000 a month, but I make about 30,000 a month myself, but it's not because of ads. I still run them for the presence and to still learn how to, and eventually I hope I could learn how to properly, effectively do them the right way, that I'm not just wasting money, right? But it's a lot to learn with ads, but then it's a lot to grow organically. So it's like a double sword. What I tell people is, to kind of wrap it up for you, is like, if you're trying to grow right now and you don't have the funds to experiment with Facebook ads, etc., just make sure that you niche down, you know, your target audience, create valuable content, and be consistent and give it time. You'll start growing. We just got to be consistent with it as well. And if you have money, look at it this way. If you're making money from, let's say, organic, take a portion of that, invest it, and then write it off in your taxes. Because you never know that maybe this person might run an ad and that does make them money. For some people, it does work. Or you could just hire someone to do it for you, which is my next plan, because me doing it myself, I'm not the best. I do need help with it. So I guess you could look at it both ways, but I do understand what you're saying about certain platforms. You don't reach anything. And then once you stop the ad, your reach goes down as well. It does, and it does happen. It has happened to me. I see it all the time. When I stop an ad on Instagram, I went from reach 86,000 reach to like barely 5,000 reach the next week. So I definitely agree with you as well. And I do both. It's crazy. I do both, but organically does take more time and patience. That's the only thing about it.
Well, I suppose, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, if you're paying $1 to make $3, spend away, you know, if it justifies it, then it's worth spending it. But you know, if you're not getting the return, like I haven't paid for the YouTube, but I set it up, the Polish one, to make it the one that hit over 1 million views. So it was at 800 and odd. So I'd done something like between 100 to 120, 130,000, don't know exactly. And all I got for that was about €100. And I was like, if I had to advertise on 100,000 views, it would cost me massive amount of money. So some people think, yeah, but you know, you get 100,000 views, you'll make massive money. They pay pittance. Like, unless, I don't know, does it go up in scales and stuff like that as the more you do? But I was shocked how poor it was.
A lot of times too, a lot of times for Facebook ads to really, really work and be able to scale, and I think not just Facebook, but just like YouTube, Pinterest ads, you have to have a high ticket product. Because if you have a high ticket product, like if you sell a product that costs $1,000, and let's say you're running $100 a day, and let's say that week, I don't know, you spend 700, but you sold 10, you made 10,000. So because you have a high product, it doesn't matter if you're paying like $10 a lead, you know, because you're making so much back. And then if you find the winning ad, then you scale it, because like you said, you're making for every $3. I mean, for every dollar, you're making $3. So now you scale that ad and you keep scaling it because it's making you money and you see it. But like for me, my husband went through cancer in 2019, and he had a brain tumor, and I decided to lower my course because he gotten sick. And then because of COVID, I had so many people telling me, I can't afford your course. It was like 600 at the time. Because of COVID, I lost my job. So I decided to lower my course down to help my community. I'm blessed enough that I make money through affiliate marketing. So I figure it is going to be a drastic cut to my money, but I don't know, I'm a little bit of a pushover too, so maybe I'm just too nice, but I decided to do it. So for my course now, running ads doesn't really make sense. I still run ads to my webinar, but it doesn't make sense because I sell my course for $47. So if I'm running ads $100 a day for my course, and let's say I get 1 click per day and 1 person buys,
Yeah,
I
you're on
just
a
spent
loss.
100 to make 47. It's like, no, but if I have a high ticket, then yes. I think that's another key is high ticket pricing works better with Facebook ads than low ticket. If you have anything low ticket, if you sell like a mug for $14, it might not be the best thing. But if you sell a product that's high ticket, then yes, but low price items, courses, whatever you sell, it is a lot harder to scale on YouTube. A lot harder. Yeah.
And with the affiliate marketing, because I've got a few different things. You know, there was a guy doing how to win in court. I'm set up with that and a few other things. Like some of them, you know, you can get like $50 on a sale, but there's other things that are tiny. Like, is that something that you say you just do it organically to make it justify it? Because it's, I mean, sometimes it, for me, it pays the costs of, you know, the BitChute and the different things that I've got. So, you know, it justifies doing it. But like, do you feel that it's not worth kind of doing a sponsorship, a paid sponsorship, even if you're bringing them to a page? Like, you've got a few different affiliates, I assume. Yeah, you've got. So
I
do
have
you,
a lot
yeah,
actually. Yeah.
do you do kind of an advertisement that it brings them to a page and they get to choose, or what's the best way of actually doing the affiliate system?
There's different ways. So for instance, for my Etsy brand, I do affiliate marketing with different programs. So there's different tools like YouTube Buddy, they have an affiliate program. So if you are a YouTuber teaching people how to create videos on YouTube, you could tell people, hey, use my referral link and you get 30 days for free with YouTube Buddy. So it's stuff like that. Like you want to promote one product that you have tested out. That's my number one rule. Or they're legit. You don't want to promote something that is not legit because it ruins your reputation. I used to do that before, like, oh, this is a great affiliate program. And I didn't really know about them. And then I would promote it. And then people would come back and say, oh, that doesn't work. They're not answering my emails. And then I stop. I was like, oh my God, no. So that's a lesson that I learned is like, make sure that whatever you're promoting, either you used them before, or even if you're not using them, they're reputable company or you have used them in the past. Secondly, make it relevant to your niche. It's a lot easier to grow. If I start talking about, hey, here's a link for food for pets, and nobody really gonna click on my link. I'm not an expert in that, right? So make it relevant to your niche. So there's so many affiliate marketing programs out there that are relevant to whatever niche you are in. So for me, that's what I do. I promote everything within my niche. So creative market, which is where people could go buy digital assets, I promote them. Canva, I always do Canva videos. I promote my affiliate link, which is 30 days for free to use Canva. I promote another program called Allura, which is a keyword software for Etsy sellers. I even have it in my course. I teach you how to use the tool. And if you want to sign up with them, I have an affiliate link. And I also promote stuff that I don't have affiliate link. eRank is a tool for Etsy sellers to grow their business. I've been promoting them for 4 years straight. No affiliate. Marmalade is their opposite competition. They do have affiliate, but the reason why I'm so loyal to eRank is because the owner, Anthony Wolf, and his team members are amazing. And I rather promote them because they're amazing than promote their competitor and make money. So sometimes you'll lose a little bit, right? But it's the karma that you give to people. So I try to promote stuff that I use, or things that are great within my niche. And then in my blog, that is all about health, I actually use, I don't know if you heard of them, ClickBank. And they have really great resources. What I like about them, I don't know if you knew this, is that every person that goes through like a really, they regulate everything that comes in. So it's not like they're just letting anyone go into their program. They have to make sure that your program is legit. And that's what I like about them. And their commissions are really high. They're like 50, 80, 90% commission. because they do a lot of upselling from the back end. Many people might not like that, but that's how they make the money. That's how I'm able to make so much more, because they upsell. If they, if not, they wouldn't make any money either. So they do a lot of upsells, but they're great to start with because they pay you a lot. I have some affiliate companies that pay me like 10% for a cookie for a week. I still promote them because they're great, but you don't really make that much compared to like other companies that they pay you a lot more for sure. So you have to be intentional too, especially in the beginning. If you're using affiliate marketing as a source of just making money from affiliate marketing, then you need to go with the higher programs. But if you're using it to just add additional revenue to whatever you're doing, then think about what would benefit your audience more and then kind of go that way as well.
And like for the person that's selling the course or the book or whatever, is it ClickGrab? Like who do you go to then that finds all these people that are actually selling for you? That they're getting whatever commission, whether it's 10% or 80%, whatever it is. Which ones are because I remember one of them, is it ClickGrab or something like that? There's one of them that you go in and it finds all the affiliates and then they sell the product. But I don't know, is there a few of them out there?
Yeah, I haven't done it yet, but I know, like, for instance, if you where I sell my courses called Teachable, the platform, they actually have an affiliate program. They don't find you affiliates, but you could set up an affiliate program and your students could promote your course for you. So that's kind of one way to do it. The second way is there's programs out there. There's like a website called PayHip where you could set up your own referral program. So if you have products that you sell, you could go in there, create a referral program, but then you have to find your own people to promote. Or you could go to ClickFunnels, which is kind of like what you're saying. I'm not ClickFunnels, ClickBank, excuse me. You could go in ClickBanks, apply. You got to be accepted so that, depending on your audience, are you out there? Do you have a brand? It's really strict. A lot of these places, you have to have some type of audience already for them to even accept you. If you do, then you get into the program. You offer the affiliate, how much you're going to offer, everything, and then they find you people. The people that are in there enrolled will know about your program, and then they'll start promoting your product. So those are the different ways. You could do it yourself. You could create your own affiliate program through your own website, but you have to promote it or tell others, here's my affiliate link if you want to promote it. Or you could have someone promote it for you, but that's more if you already have an established authority online. That's the key, to be accepted to those.
Nancy, thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't think people realize the gold that you've given away today, because I've learned an awful lot, and I'm big in marketing. I read a lot of marketing books, so I hope people not only listen but they replay it and listen again. And how can they contact you and maybe do your course? Because they will learn a lot, because you have a brilliant way of explaining things.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. For anyone listening, if you want to learn more about Etsy and making money through Etsy, or maybe you want to just learn how to make money online, just go to my blog, nancybadillo.com. I have everything in there, from my resources from Etsy, my Etsy course. I also have articles on making money online, affiliate marketing, and much more. So pretty much everything is in there. And you can also find my social media links as well in there. So that's the best place to find me.
No, brilliant. And I'll make sure I'll put all the links on it, because I know that different people will follow you on the thing that they like. Whether they like Twitter, they'll follow you on Twitter, Instagram, or whatever. I've got all the list of all of them, so I'll make sure I'll put everything into the podcast description, both on the audio and the video. So thank you very much, Nancy.
Thank you, Roy.
So that's all for the Speaking Podcast. You find all our episodes on speakingpodcast.com, on BitChute and YouTube. Sure to give us a thumbs up, 5-star rating, share with your friends, especially this episode, because no matter what they're doing in life, they'll benefit from social media. Until next week, take care.